Is there any chance?
All right, good evening. If I can, we'll call this council meeting to order. It is 6 o'clock on 24 March. And with that, I will we'll call to order and we'll call up a Pastor Troy Garner of the Fellowship of Faith Church to do our invocation. I don't believe I see Pastor Garner, so Lisa, can I ask you, please, would you mind giving us the invocation?
Okay. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you so much today. We thank you that we're able to meet here and do the city's business in freedom, Lord. We thank you for the blessing of this beautiful weather. And we thank you, Lord, for the people that are here today to engage with us. We ask that you would bless our city, Lord, keep our first responders safe, our fire department, our police department, public works department, Lord, and just remind us, Lord, that everything we do in your name. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. All right, thank you. And with that, can I have PAC 351 up, please, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? One of y'all, whoever's going to lead, will speak into the mic. We will follow your lead. The flag's right over here.
You can just start. I don't.
Okay, the mic is definitely working. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Thank
fellas.
y'all. We appreciate it. Good job. Okay, can I get the roll call, please?
Mayor Finley.
Here.
Councilmember Wroblewski.
Here.
Councilmember Spears.
Here.
Councilmember Powell.
Here.
Councilmember Shaw.
Here.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Here.
Councilmember Denzine.
Here.
Council President Seifert.
I'm here. And moving into approval of minutes. Well, actually, excuse me, I'm jumping over amendments to the agenda. Do we have any amendments?
There are no amendments.
All right, we'll move into the next one then. Approval of minutes. First up is the minutes from our regular meeting on 10 March.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Can I get the vote?
Councilmember Powell.
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Wroblewski.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
I abstain.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
All right, motion passes. And with that, we're going to move into presentation of awards. We don't have any tonight. All good? Okay, we're going to move into public comments. So what I ask folks is you want to get up and speak. You've got 3 minutes. When you do, please state your name and address or district for the record. And I think that'll be it. So we do have some folks that have signed up first. I think I'll call them up first. I think there's a Mr. Burke, John Burke.
All right. Thank you. It's good to see you again. I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to speak at the City Council meeting. I think it's such a great forum, as the invocation mentioned, about being able to be, speak your mind and kind of, get off your chest what's important to you and your neighborhood. I also like to thank the city employees and all the citizens that came out tonight. There are a lot of things that you could do on a Monday night besides come to a City Council meeting. Probably some folks are thinking about their, their March Madness, picks. But the subject tonight, which I spoke at in January, has to do with drainage and easements and the enforcement of those drainage and easements. And I actually brought a book. I wasn't sure I was going to start. It's called the Checklist Manifesto. I'm sure many folks have read this. And it's a great book because, checklist, which is what the city ordinance on drainage actually is, it says you cannot fill, fence, or obstruct drainage in the city of Madison. I mean, it's so simple, it's just poetically elegant, isn't it? And so the ask tonight for the city council is, if the ordinance is so clear and so straightforward, then it would seem to me that if the ordinance is being violated, that a question in your mind would be, why aren't we enforcing it? And to me, success tonight is, in addition to my District 5 representative, if another city council member joins with her and says, really, why aren't we following such a clear ordinance? Now, the ordinance, in this case, in my neighborhood in Highland Lakes, and for the engineers, it's about a 70 square foot easement, and with 1 meter deep. When the water flows, that's about 6.5 tons of mass that's going down that easement, which has been obstructed. So it's pretty significant. The city engineer, the director of public works have both been on the site, which I'm very appreciative of, and they've eyeballed it. And I'll make the offer here, really, to anybody on the city council, anybody in the city employment, you're more than welcome to come out to my backyard and eyeball it yourself. And if you come to a different conclusion than I do, that it's fenced, filled, and obstructed, you know, I will certainly take under advisement what you see that's different than what I see and my neighbors see. It's not a homeowner issue, it's a neighborhood issue. It's a health and safety issue. But really the ask is, again, just ask yourselves, if it's so straightforward, then why aren't we following it? And I know you have your own meetings, and if I could just ask, in your own meetings, have that discussion among yourselves. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sir. Thanks, sir. Okay, next up, we have Meredith Broadfoot.
Good evening. My name is Meredith Broadfoot. I live at 101 Starling Drive in Madison, and I'm here tonight to advocate for my daughter and to ask you to provide accessible playgrounds in Madison. There are 580 children within Madison City's K-12 system that have Section 504 plans. That means there are 580 children, kindergarten through high school, within your districts that have either a physical and/or mental disability. We live west of County Line Road, and we were very excited about the new Sunshine Oaks playground being built. I personally assumed, wrongfully, that Madison, after Kids Kingdom, that we were going to be building inclusive playgrounds all throughout Madison that all of our kids could enjoy. But I took my daughter there to play and realized that she couldn't use any of the equipment. I understand Kids Kingdom is an inclusive and accessible playground. That playground is completely across town and can take up to 20 minutes to get to, depending on traffic, and even longer now that we're all back on the Arsenal. It is also such a great playground that everyone in Madison wants to use it. I've tried to take my kid to Kids Kingdom 3 times since its opening, and we've had to leave 2 of the 3 times because the parking lot was full. The only time we were able to actually try to enjoy the park, we only stayed about 15 minutes because there was just so many kids, we couldn't enjoy anything. Kids Kingdom has some amazing equipment that is expertly intertwined within a relatively small footprint, so it fills up quickly. And please keep in mind that when Kids Kingdom is full, my family has nowhere else to go. We often end up going home. We actually drive to Nashville to enjoy the park with our child, which is ridiculous. There's no reason that a city the size of Madison should only have one accessible park for its children. I've already spoken with Mr. Corey Alfred, Mr. Steve Smith to discuss my concerns and my wishes, and even volunteered my own time in providing feedback, applying for grants, and even manual labor if that's what it took to get this done. They've kindly offered to try to get some inclusive equipment to add to Sunshine Oaks with the resources they have available, and that is a great start. But this isn't the long-term solution. Tonight, I am asking you to provide the Parks Department the resources it needs to build an inclusive park on the west side of town. I'm not asking you to build a park only for children with disabilities. I'm asking for all the parks in Madison to include all children and to not exclude the children with disabilities. Kids Kingdom is a perfect example of a park that all the children in Madison want to play on. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, anyone else wanting to speak to council this evening?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Peter Tremko. I'm from District 5. I feel like I'm on the Hunger Games here.
May the odds be forever in your favor.
I came to talk tonight about flock safety, and I'm sure the council's aware by now of all of the postings that have been made on Nextdoor. And thank you, Counselor, for
No,
engaging with us.
I'm just saying, I'm having a hard time hearing you, I'm sorry.
Are you? Okay, let me cozy up to the mic here. I'm not going to go through the long laundry list of questions and concerns about flock safety. I think there are a lot of them. They're all posted online. A lot of other people share those concerns with me. And if you haven't looked on Nextdoor, I'd ask you to go and look and see what people are saying. The bottom line is this is a terrific system, and I'm sure it will be very helpful to the police department. If I was in the police department, I'm sure I would want it. But there are privacy and misuse concerns, and they've been raised throughout the country with regard to this system. My ask for you tonight is, before you engage in buying this system and deploying this system, is that you put in place a set of public policies regarding acceptable use, regarding how the police can apply it, regarding how the system might be accessible to others besides the public. I know we can't control what's outside the city or what's going on outside the community, but at least within the community, there can be some rules that the police department can follow and maybe make the community more comfortable with what is going on there. So thank you. If you want to talk to me, I'd be happy to, but I'd encourage you to go and read what's online. It's actually pretty interesting. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Anyone else wanting to address council this evening?
Margie Daly, Karen's District. Good evening. First, there's one resolution, 2025-094, a statement of support. It states the month of Mary instead of May, so there's a typo there. I don't know if anybody else noticed it and you fixed it yet. Resolution 2025-089, it's regarding new tabulators or counters at the elections. I read in there the DS200, there's something about attaching it to a modem, so that makes me a little nervous for election integrity. Anything that can be connected to a modem can be hacked. 2025-095, groundskeeper services, $90,000. We hired Gerald, created a new department because he was going to save us so much money. Well, it doesn't seem he's saving us a dime. Every council was spending hundreds of thousands of dollars over there. Then 2025-087, 082, and 088, removing the drainage easements. Now, these drainage easements, when they get removed, problems happen on the adjacent properties, and we know that. So we really should be proactive on these infrastructure things. Then, okay, I want to talk about those lights because I see that there's a study in there from Scottsdale, Arizona, which is a city of 275,000. Now, we did not make the census for 65,000 because we almost did, but we didn't make it because there was just a census. You know, they do them every 10 years, but every couple of years. And if you're 65,000 in population, you'll be in that census. We were not. So we're going to track people's license plates for a city of 60,000, and we're going to put in here a study for a city of 275,000. I mean, this seems to happening all the time. You build us up, we're paying the price for a 250,000 population, and we only have 60-something thousand, not quite 65,000. I think we should live more within our means. And as far as these cameras go, I don't think we should have them. I mean, I don't think we should be tracking people, but that's my ideology. You can make all the faces you want, Mayor Finley, but that's my opinion. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Anyone else wanting to address council this evening? All right, seeing none, we'll close public comments. Sorry? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you may. We'll open public comments back.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michael Zeman. I'm in District 6. And I want to be clear that I strongly respect and support the Madison Police Department, but I have some comments on 2025-096 that I want you to take into consideration. I want our police department to be equipped with the best tools to perform their duties to keep our community safe. I recognize the tools that the city is considering purchasing are very powerful. I've been learning about and following Flock for a number of years now, and my purpose tonight is to help ensure that the mayor and the city council make an informed decision when it comes to joining this information collection service. It is far more involved than it might seem, and I myself have mixed feelings due to the severity of both its merits and its drawbacks. The first important thing is to realize that we're not just buying an automatic license plate recognition camera system that the city of Madison can use to find unwanted vehicles. What's actually happening is we're allowing Flock to install data collection systems throughout the city that send the data to Flock, who will make it available to Madison and any of their other customers. The devices do not only look for vehicles flagged by Madison PD, but automatically run all plates against state police watch lists and the FBI's NCIC criminal database. Any hit informs local law enforcement and possibly others. These advanced systems will process and sometimes record many things: motor vehicles passing by with or without a license plate, bicycles, people, animals, and nearby audio. Their patented vehicle fingerprint technology develops a signature of vehicles based on things like the plate, types of tires, bumper stickers, body damage, and so on. A major issue I have with the Flock system is it doesn't just track criminals or specific vehicles. In an article from 2023, the system found over 23 photos of the author's vehicle, even though he had done nothing wrong. Content like that can be searched in Flock without any warrant. Many will say that because the surveillance is occurring in public place that there's no expectation of privacy, but that's not really consistent with what many of the courts have decided. The Supreme Court's explained that individuals have a reasonable expectation of privacy in the whole of their physical movements because of the privacies of life those movements can reveal. The court held in Carpenter versus the United States that when police request 7 days or more of a person's historical cell phone location from a cellular provider, a warrant's required. That's because of the, and I'm using their words here, deeply revealing nature of these digital location records, their depth, breadth, and comprehensive reach, and the inescapable and automatic nature of their collection. In past cases, the Supreme Court has found private parties such as Flock
We'll move into consent agenda and Finance Committee report.
Okay, today at 5 o'clock, we had a Finance Committee meeting, and the Finance Committee has had an opportunity to review the regular and periodic bills. We, under the consent agenda, we have a resolution for disposition of personal property of negligible value, being a large format plotter. It's going to be sold on GovDeals. We've got an insurance claim through AMIC. We've got another insurance claim through AMIC. We've got a quotation from Unico Technologies for maintenance support services for just over $10,000 to be paid by the IT budget, and an acceptance of an anonymous donation for $200 for the B shift to be deposited in the fire department donation account. Account. And with that, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a couple seconds. Is there any discussion? Can I get a vote, please?
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Council President Seifert,
Aye.
Councilmember Wroblewski,
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. And with that, we'll move into presentation reports. And Mayor Finley, you're first up.
All right, a couple quick things. First, congratulations on a couple of ribbon cuttings. On Friday, we cut the ribbon at the interchange at Town Madison for the full 565 flyovers. Congratulations to council, and thanks so much to, of course, Steve Smith. Michael Johnson led that from one side, but the other one is police. Our Madison Police Department did a great job working with AllDOT on traffic control throughout the course of that entire time when they had to put those things over. So thank you. And then the Alabama Department of Transportation, a huge partner. That is the largest project that they've done, where basically a city and or another person led it, and they simply came in and made sure you did what you said you were going to do, going back to the maintenance that we all ask every time that they bring it into all that maintenance. It met their qualifications. So congratulations on that. Secondly, Sunshine Oaks, a ribbon cutting on Thursday, probably the coldest day of the year, without question with the wind. I do know and I appreciate Ms. Meredith coming and talking to us, as far as what her family needs, what a lot of families need. I think the great news for what Sunshine Oaks is doing is immediately taking some of the burden off of Kids Kingdom, which was really the only big kid park that we had. So that's one start. Secondly, that's phase one, and Corey has already ordered additional equipment, and part of what is prioritized is some of the things we know are needed. So we'll continue to build that out, but we had to start someplace, and I'm really proud of that, and that will continue as a 40 acres to grow as something we expand. We're also working on the community center parking. We understand fully that more parking is needed. So to the right, when you turn in where the senior center is, to the right, that big grove of trees, we're getting an engineering for 2 different designs there. We hope to have that done and bring it to council for mid-year budget if there's anything that we need to expand the parking there. And then lastly, we learned today, congratulations to all of us, Madison, Alabama was named one of America's top 10 best places to live in the United States. Actually, we came in at number 9, which is, it's been a big year for 9s. We're the 9th largest city in the state, and that's a great, a nice award to get from the outside looking in to folks say that it's a wonderful place to live. I'm really proud of what our team does. I say that every week. It is astounding that we're able to keep up with what's going on with the growth and keep the quality that we have with our partners, with Madison Utilities, with the Madison City Schools. It is not easy to keep up and know that the minute you build a park or a pickleball court, it still needs more. Another road, it needs more. And it's just hard to continue to do that. And so with a group that continues to stay on it, somebody like a Michael Johnson that'll come up here and at mid-year bring you guys the next set of plans that continues to keep throughput going in the city. So a big lift for the city, and really nice to have someone look at that and say, basically, congratulations. So congratulations. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Mayor. I'm going to switch things up a little bit here. We're going to start off with District 6. We're going to go left to right instead of right to left.
Wow, you woke me up there.
I say my left, sorry.
Yeah, spring's up, and so many things are starting to happen here in Madison. Madison Street Festival, they start organization on that this Wednesday. The committee will start meeting and start putting that together for October. At the library at 6 o'clock tomorrow night is finally the Madison Police and City Advisory Board meeting that I've been talking about for a couple of weeks now. They're going to be talking about the results. And I think it's a good opportunity for all of us to learn what other people in the community thought and perhaps ways that we can change and improve the way we all interact with each other. And the last thing is on Thursday, the Madison Visionary Partners is having their awards banquet. And I'm just so excited to find out who wins this year. But it is always so good just to get together and celebrate how so many people work so hard, just as volunteers, just to make this place just a wonderful place to live. And I agree with Mayor. It's great that we were given this honor. I think it's because of such good people here in the city that this happens. So just, that's it. Yeah, I'll be safe. There are more storms. I was thrilled that the big storm did not happen here. I was very grateful for that. So that's all.
Thank you, ma'am. District 5.
Okay, I have a couple of thank yous to Cub Scout packs. This must be a busy season for Cub Scouts because Pack 83 that meets at Asbury and Pack 350 that meets at St. John's asked me to help them learn a little bit more about city government. So thank you for the invitation. I enjoyed visiting with you. That's it.
Okay. And District 4?
No new business.
District 3?
No new business.
District 2?
Oh, sorry. Caught me off guard. So I missed the last council meeting because I was in Washington DC with TARCOG, which is the top of Alabama Regional Council of Governments. And for those of you who want to know this, that trip was completely covered by TARCOG because I am their board president. While we were up there, I was able to talk with Congressman Adderholt and staffers for Senator Britt Tuberville and Congressman Strong. While I was up there, I talked to them about how grateful we were that we have so many jobs coming to the arsenal, but also I talked to them about our needs for help with our infrastructure, not only our roads and our bridges and access to throughput for our city, for all these additional cars, but also our water infrastructure, our storm drainage infrastructure, all of those things that most people are not paying attention to when they say, we got 1,000 jobs, 500 jobs, whatever the big number is. There are a lot of things that have to happen in order to ensure that those people can live here and they can live here safely, and we can still move through our city in a meaningful manner. And so that was really, Congressman Adderholt was very attentive. He took notes. He was so gracious with his time, and I wanted to mention that. But also I wanted to mention tomorrow is a quarterly meeting for TARCOG. It'll be at their office at 11 o'clock, if anybody's interested. So, and that's all I had.
All right.
No new business.
No new business. And for District 7, really just echo the mayor's sentiments with everything that happened last week and even the weeks before. So lots of good stuff going on, and congratulations to the citizens in the city for number 9. Pretty cool. So, okay with that, we're going to move into board and committee appointments, which we don't have any, and there's no public hearings for this evening. So we will go into department reports, and first up is the city clerk.
Good evening. I have for you the first reading, proposed ordinance 25-089, establishing the use of electronic vote counting devices for the 2025 municipal election. And let me go into this to tell you about it. We've always used the DS200s, they're vote tabulators. And we also use an ADA accessible machine, which they are now calling the Express Vote. So it's nothing different than what we've used in previous and all of our elections. These devices are blessed by the probate judge and also the Secretary of State, which the probate judge also oversees and makes sure that we are abiding and using the proper equipment as set forth by the Secretary of State. This is the first reading.
Okay.
Lisa, I have a quick question. I'm sorry. Ms. Thomas, I have a quick question. You will still retain the paper ballot, correct?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes. This machine simply, and also the ADA requirement machine, it simply tabulates. It's the machine that the ballots go into, and it's counting the votes.
So if there was any need for verification, you would have those
We
paper ballots
actually
to
will.
use those?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, are there any modems attached to this? In any way, can anyone get into the system, or is it just all closed? Counts the ballots that are there and it's all good?
It counts the ballots, all good, and no one can get into the machines. We actually will have representatives there if we need to get into the machine. If it should fail for whatever reason, we will have the experts there to go into the machines to do that. If we have to go in there for any reason, not we, but the poll workers, there's someone there trained to do that. But there's no way to get in there and manipulate any of the numbers.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, ma'am. And with that, we're going to move into engineering.
Okay, first I have resolution number 2025-094R. This is authorizing change order number 3 to our agreement with Miller and Miller Incorporated. This is removing the temporary road construction from the scope of the project 2022-024 Mill Road stabilization while providing for the reestablishment of the multi-use path. Excuse me. This is a reduction of the bid total to $2,607,042 to be paid from Fund 38. So
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second.
So last time I was here, we brought a change order to do this bypass road to try to go around the construction site for some portion of, some duration of the project. We got out there the first day to start building that road. We found poor soils east of the subdivision entrance. We found a very shallow water main to the west of that. We worked with MU, try to figure out a way to maybe relocate the water main. What would it take to build up? Also dealing with the poor soils. We found that all this was going to add a lot of expense to this road that we were going to have to remove after the project anyway. So working with the mayor's office, working with the contractor, we put together a new plan, a new schedule to not build the bypass road, go ahead and get the wall built to stabilize Mill Road near the ditch. And so we've got kind of a new schedule. I wanted to show you guys the diagram here. I sent it to you in an email so we can kind of talk our way through kind of what the scheduling of that's going to look like. So beginning next week, we're going to close the portion of Mill Road between Balch and the entrance to Millstone. I believe that's Mill Park Lane. I believe that's the name of the road. So that portion will be closed. The area that you can see there in the green, that's going to be the posted detour route, taking traffic up Balch Road over to Browns Ferry, and then from there, if they need to continue east, they can, or come back south on Sullivan, they can do that. This will allow the contractor to get started on the wall. They'll be able to work on about half of the area starting next week, and then beginning on May the 19th, when school is out for the summer, they'll close the rest of Mill Road there, so the entire length of the project area will be closed beginning May 19th, with the idea of being able to reopen on August the 1st before school starts.
So one data point, and this was in the emails I sent you. So while the last full day is May 19th, you still have 2 half-days, 20 and 21st. So
2 half days of what?
2 half-days of school.
That's, looking at the schedule, it looked like there were no days in school on those. Is that?
The 20th and 21st are 2 half-days where a lot of I know a lot of the middle and high schools will have finals, and elementary schools will still have to go. So we just need to coordinate with the schools and make sure we got that squared.
I don't see why that matters. I mean, if that's closed anyway right there at the end, that's not going to affect traffic anyway.
Actually,
both roads closed, both lanes are closed right there.
That's right.
So, I mean, they can't get down there anyway.
I'm just saying we need to coordinate with the schools to make sure that the folks that live in that neighborhood have a way to, if their kids ride the bus or other things, they know that, hey, it's going to be closed on this day. But then at the same time, we need to work through with the homeowners in that neighborhood that I don't know what the name of that road is, but there's a road that goes through the neighborhood and comes out right to where you'll have it closed. People will use that as a thoroughfare.
Mm-hmm. They can't use, that's closed right now anyway, right there on Mill Road.
That'll be reopened.
Subdivision is out.
It'll be reopened, so we're going to reopen that section so that you'll be able to use the neighborhood. You'll be able to access the neighborhood from Mill Road, excuse me, during the first section of closure, we'll be able to allow that. That'll help with the buses and school traffic a little bit to get through there. And I'll go back and verify with the school district. I've sent this to the school district. They didn't mention half-days after that. I didn't see them on the schedule, but I'll check.
He sent directly to Dr. Nichols,
that's
and they
fine.
get Travis Scrimshire, so.
Yeah, so I'll check and make sure, and if it's gonna cause a problem for the schools, then we'll let it be open those last 2 days, and we'll figure that part out.
Yeah. But I do know with the westernmost and the southernmost entrance being open, at least for a little bit, that will be folks will use that as a thoroughfare. It won't probably be the path.
Folks will use that as a cut-through, and our goal is our job is to make sure they don't use it as a thoroughfare. It's no different than anything else that we've done, and so we'll work directly with Chief and our police department, whether it's the signage, whether it's having somebody posted there to keep people at the speed limit. It's a criticality to have it, at least that portion of it open while, just for a short cut-through. Then he eventually, when school's done, just closes it and jet fuels to get it by school.
That's right.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, Michael, so from Balch Road to the Millstone entrance on Mill Road, that's going to be closed next week until the end of...
That'll be closed the whole time. It's just, that's the first part that'll be closed.
Okay.
That section will be closed starting
time.
next week.
Okay,
And then they'll add to that closure the rest of the project area.
which will go farther west. The
Right,
black
I've got it beginning May the 19th, but like I said, I'll verify with the school schedule that we do that to support those guys however they need it to be.
Okay, to help the seniors in the room, the next time you make a map like this, where that's like red and black, those are very close together, if you could like do one very different color from the other color.
I'll be honest with you,
It would
it's
be
actually
very
purple,
helpful.
and it looks really good on my board. I don't know why it looks so dark on this one, but
Well,
I agree, it should be
Like
brighter,
neon yellow would help,
for sure.
something like that. That would be very helpful for those of us who are just a little bit older than you.
And communications will be able to push this out
Well,
this
so
week.
so from a city standpoint, I talked with the mayor about getting communications out. And I've already sent it to the Millstone HOA. They're all aware of it. Put Councilman Shaw on it as well. And so I think, sir, you're representative from there? Yeah.
Thank you.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. One question that I did get was, and I think you answered an email, but just for the public, the date at which we do intend to at least have the multi-use path that was there back done is when?
So that'll be part of substantial completion. So restoring the multi-use path will be part of the project. The same group that's going to be repaving the road as they reestablish the road will also be doing that. So it's the paving contractor, but that's part of the substantial completion is to have that done.
Okay. All right.
But are they gonna redo the light timing on Sullivan up here at, Browns Ferry or at Mill at all? Cause you're gonna overload that light tremendously. Everybody's going out that way. You're gonna flood these two lights in the mornings.
We'll work with the DOT guys over in Public Works to make sure that the signals are timed how they need to be. Yep.
You're talking about a line at Waltrana and County Line?
He's saying, well, there's gonna be definitely extra
be extra
traffic
folks.
at Browns Ferry and Sullivan where there was more traffic at Mill. There won't be as much traffic at Mill coming that direction, but there'll be more at Browns Ferry.
Yeah, okay.
But the good thing is it'll be in the summertime where traffic isn't quite as bad. So that's what we don't want to miss here. That's the goal here is to get this going. We don't want to miss this time of year with this.
Sure.
The better thing is when it's done, we've got a road that we can use.
And it's safe.
'Cause this is a road that's failing.
Be good. You did buy a bag of Snickers bars?
Yeah, I'll take your bet.
All right. I'll buy a bag too, just in case I'm wrong. Okay. All right.
Michael, I appreciate you doing this instead of building a road that we're only going to tear apart again. I know people will be, put out for a bit, but I love that the time frame is up to August, and that's great. Thank you.
Okay, I think any further discussion? Okay, I think we had a motion and a second. Can I get the vote?
Councilmember Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Council President Seifert,
Aye.
Councilmember Wroblewski,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Michael, thank you for putting all that together. I think that very much helped.
I can hang out after to meet with the HOA representative from the neighborhood too.
All right, thank you.
All right, next I have resolution number 2025-081R. This is authorizing professional services agreement with TTL Incorporated for project 25014, excuse me, Mill Road Bridge Replacement, bin number 1354, amount not to exceed $110,000 to be paid from Fund 38.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, can I get the vote?
Councilmember Spears?
Aye.
Councilmember Powell?
Aye.
Council President Seifert?
Aye.
Councilmember Wroblewski?
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw?
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett?
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine?
All right, motion passes.
I've got a little bit more information if you guys are interested in it.
Sure.
This is the bridge we're talking about here, very narrow. We're kind of treating it as sort of like the Browns Ferry one that we did and just reopened. Very narrow. The head wall there is really close to the edge of pavement. The idea here is to widen this out, way out to the right there on your screen, and also be able to add some sidewalk along Mill Road. We want to connect the walking path there that's been taken out and be reestablished so we can bring it back as far to the east as we possibly can. Excuse me. As you can see, we've got some existing sidewalks here in a very dark purple that I wish were brighter.
Us too.
But you can
Imagine if you will.
yeah, but you can kind of see where the existing sidewalks there. We've got a few projects going on right now. We're working on the Mill Road sidewalk extensions, about 1,100 square feet going from Withers Junction back to the sidewalk, or back to the parking lot there. We're also working with MU to add a little connection right here between County Line and Withers Junction. And then with this one, probably get started with this one next year because this will be another kind of road closure situation over there, but we'll be able to add this yellow part.
I
So,
like that color.
yeah, that's a great color.
That's a good
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
Keep that one.
So, by the end of this cycle, we'll be able to have sidewalk continually from Hughes Road over to County Line Road. That's sort of the goal.
Thank you, thank you.
But anyway, this is the goal for a year from now or so, something like that.
Keep putting the words up there, because I can't see blues and blacks.
Can't see what now?
Blues, blacks, or purples.
I understand. I'll use different colors next time. Wearing me out on the colors.
This is great, and Council President Seifert will buy you a case of Snicker bars when it's all done.
All right.
Or so.
Or, yeah, something like that. Okay, any further discussion? All right. Well, we've already voted on it.
Already voted.
Yep,
I just want to vote again.
I don't have anything.
Let's vote again.
Thank you. I liked all
yep.
the pictures that you showed us today that helped explain this a whole lot better. Thank you.
Just likes different colors.
Just got to use different colors.
And Teddy wants like hand signals.
Okay.
Just be careful.
We'll do handouts and everything. All right.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, sir. Next up, facilities and grounds.
Facilities and Grounds Department has one resolution for your consideration tonight. Resolution 2025-095R, awarding a bid of 2025-007 ITB groundskeeping services to 4A services for an annual cost of $89,391, and it'll be paid from facilities budget. Before you vote, I'll let you know that it's a reduction of $26,000 from our current budget, and we added 2 more properties to the current scope of work.
Move to approve. Second.
All right, motion and a second. Any discussion?
Thank you. We love the reduction and the addition of the properties. Is it things like this that are out here that are part of that with the rocks and everything, or?
No, ma'am, this is the groundkeeping, the cutting the grass,
Oh.
the pre-emergence, trimming the trees, and that kind of stuff for all 17 cities.
Gotcha. Thank you. Well, it looks really good outside, what you've done as well in the last week.
That in a week or so, yes.
Yeah, looks good.
Any further discussion? I got a motion and a second. Can I have a discussion or a vote, please? Sorry.
Councilmember Shaw?
Aye.
Councilmember Powell?
Aye.
Council President Seifert?
Aye.
Councilmember Wroblewski?
Aye.
Councilmember Spears?
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett?
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine?
Motion passes. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Gerald.
Next up is Human Resources.
So So this is proposed ordinance number 2025-050, amending sections 9 and 10, conduct and disciplinary and grievance procedures of the City of Madison Personnel Policies and Procedures. This is the continuation of the second reading, and what this does is it removes the grievance or the ability for people to grieve to counsel for what would be considered minor offenses.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Just say thank you very much for your work for this. Had a very good HR discussion, HR committee discussion. Appreciate everything you're doing and going through all of these sections for our employees.
Thank you.
All right. Can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Wroblewski.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell.
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw.
Nay.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you, ma'am. And next up is legal.
Good evening. I'd like to present ordinance number 2025-82 for a second reading this evening. And this is an ordinance to authorize an electronic signature policy for the City of Madison. This ordinance provides for the acceptance and validity of electronic signatures on certain city documents. It honors state law regarding contract execution and public records retention. And it also honors internal procedures of the city clerk, finance, and IT department regarding internal controls. I'd be happy to take any questions that you have, and I would like to ask for your approval this evening.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
What are the policies that control who uses it and that sort of thing?
This policy establishes that the city clerk department, legal department, finance, and IT all have a role in reviewing any documents that might be electronically signed. And that's to honor our internal controls regarding financial record keeping. It's to make sure that the city clerk makes sure that all of the documents and contracts are properly attested and also stored in accordance with applicable law, and that the IT department has a chance to review and make sure that documents are properly stored and preserved if they're going to be electronic.
Okay, thank you for the explanation.
Okay. I think I've asked this question before. I know in my daytime job, I have several certificates that allow me to sign electronically. Our policy will employ that kind of thing or employ electronic signatures how? And where I say that is I literally put a card in, it's got a little smart chip, I type a pin, and it puts on there a signature that is literally mine, whereas in some cases I've taken and done my own signature, done a screenshot, whatever, throw it on there. Two different levels of security. What kind are we specifically employing on ours to make sure that it is, like if the mayor signs something, that it is indeed authenticated as the mayor's versus, you know, me just going, hey, I really like the mayor, but I'd like to sign this document as him and get his screenshot and go to town.
We're going to keep it old school when it comes to most of the signatures, and that's because state law requires the city clerk to attest anytime the mayor signs a contract. And so if we're using an electronic system, we're going to make sure that if the mayor signs it electronically, the city clerk can witness that and then also attest electronically. And if not, we'll just do the old-fashioned method of printing out the contract and getting the mayor to physically sign it and getting the city clerk to physically attest it. And then as we move forward with new systems like DocuWare that we've recently obtained, then we may come up with additional methods like you're describing, but that's a little bit farther down the road. We just wanted to go ahead and bring this ordinance to you all for approval because we have an outstanding grant that we're working on for law enforcement purposes, and we wanted to just ask for your approval to go off to the races to modernize our system a little bit.
And will council be able to participate as well? For example, on the CRNA that is going around, we would be able to do that, and that will help speed up the process for you and your department or IT as well?
Yes.
Good, good.
Definitely opens up many more possibilities.
Awesome.
Okay. Any further discussion? No? All right, can I get the vote?
Councilmember Wroblewski.
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw,
Aye.
Council President Seifert,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Motion passes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next up is planning.
Good evening. The first item is proposed ordinance number 2025-087. This is first reading for vacation of a portion of utility and drainage easement in the rear yard of a residential property. A good portion of the utility and drainage easement will remain on this property, but the property owner is requesting a vacation of a portion of it to facilitate doing backyard improvements. And we'll be asking for your approval at your next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
The second item is proposed ordinance number 2025-088. This is also for vacation of utility and drainage easement. This is located within Lot 2 of North Airport Business Subdivision, which is located at the northeast corner of Madison Boulevard and County Line Road. They'll be pulling up the exhibit momentarily. And you could see the area of vacation is this area right here. And we are requesting that you suspend the rules this evening and approve the ordinance. And the reason for this is to facilitate an economic development project at this corner. The applicant has been working very closely with us. It's a complicated site as we look at the overall site development. And so we are asking that you suspend the rules, and happy to answer any questions you may have about this.
Make a motion to suspend the rules to have the discussion, or have the vote.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to suspend the rules. Can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Wroblewski,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Council President Seifert,
Aye.
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
All right, motion passes to suspend the rules. So now we need a motion and second to consider what's in front.
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second by Councilman Powell. All right, any discussion? All right, can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Council President Seifert,
Aye.
Councilmember Wroblewski,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
All right, motion passes.
All right, thank you. And lastly, for planning, we have resolution number 2025-090-R. And this is acknowledging the Planning Commission's adoption of the Madison On Track 2045 Comprehensive Plan. And I'm just going to run through a few slides. We're very happy to be at the end of this process, as I'm sure you are as well. You may recall council asked for the city's staff to pursue updating the comprehensive plan, and we formally kicked off all of the public engagement about 3 years ago. And fast forward through a number of public meetings and workshops and input, in February of this year, the Planning Commission adopted the comp plan. The comp plan, again, was the result of a lot of public input. It also included the guidance of a 19-member advisory committee. Most of those members were selected by the City Council, and they helped us throughout the process to develop that plan. It included members from all of the city's boards and commissions, as well as representatives from each of the council members' districts and an appointment from the mayor, as well as the school board, Madison Utilities. The document itself consists of 10 chapters. It includes transportation analysis. It includes a brief look at the fiscal impacts of the preferred growth scenario. And it also includes an implementation action plan. The preferred growth scenario is a mid-range growth scenario that was selected by the advisory committee that charts Madison's path forward until 2045. The traffic modeling was done based upon this growth scenario. We looked at the availability of land, site constraints, properties that were covered by floodplain, et cetera, to develop where we anticipated future growth would be occurring. And then all of the parcels in Madison were coded with what are called place types, which is a character-based system kind of similar to land uses. That very pale yellow you can see mostly on the east side of Madison represents single-family homes. And purple is another example, is industrial area. So existing development was coded as existing development, and then we looked at vacant land or land that might be unincorporated, that might be annexed at some point. Doesn't mean it has to be. And what that land might want to be developed as to be compatible in Madison. For each of the place types, there is information about not only where the place type exists, in this case, this is the suburban single family, that pale yellow, which represents detached single family homes in Madison. It talks about density, it talks about the character for each of these place types. In terms of comparing the place types from existing to 2045, Madison remains predominantly a single-family community. You see that we are assuming all of the vacant land will be developed over the next 20 years, and there's slight changes in the different place types based upon our growth projections. Chapter 10 is the implementation action plan. There are 81 action items. Some of those are represented by updating the zoning ordinance. Some of those are implementing the capital improvement program in terms of doing transportation projects. And some of those are ongoing efforts. The city staff will work with the mayor's office in developing that implementation schedule. And with that, we'd like to recommend that you approve this resolution. And I just wanted to express appreciation to all the departments. It was a team effort to get us to the finish line. Certainly, they appreciate the guidance of the Planning Commission as well, who adopted the plan, and happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I think it's just the time that we thank Mary Beth for
Yes.
all the hard work. I mean, that's the long, hard, and very important, very important project. So, thank you.
For the areas that they do suggest a zoning change, when do you think that'll happen? Would that come before us, or are you going to wait? What's the plan?
There are no areas that the plan recommends a zoning change per se. What we had talked about, in other words, if a property is zoned single family now, it's going to remain single family. What we had talked about is that we do have some single family subdivisions that were annexed into the city and zoned ag because that was the city's practice at the time. They're small, individual single family lots. It makes more sense to rezone those to a single family use. And so at some point we may do that and pursue that. But there isn't property where, other than that, where we're planning on unilaterally going in and recommending a rezone.
And the Planning Commission would be able to take care of that, or would it need to come before council?
Any rezoning is ultimately acted on by the City Council, but the Planning Commission is the first stop for that. One of the things that, not rezoning per se, but an update of the zoning ordinance we've talked about. And so there are a number of action items in this document that talk about updating the zoning text for certain provisions. And so we'll be working with the Planning Commission on that, and that will also come to the City Council.
Okay, thank you.
Mary Beth, I want to ask one question just for clarification. In order for something to be rezoned, though, it has to, the initiation of that has to come from the homeowner, correct? Or can the city?
The city can be an applicant and initiate a rezoning.
For someone else's property?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Have we done that during your time?
No.
I think that mainly comes down, like, I'll give you an instance. I know in my district there is there's an area that was zoned as as a, you know, more occupants, a denser build. But they built single-family residences on there. I mean, theoretically, you know, if that house were to get destroyed, you could, under the current guise, you could redevelop it. But I think that's kind of, those things are the ones you might need to change, but what's the point of changing them? There's a single-family home there.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Now, at one point, when we were talking about updating the zoning ordinance, I think you said something about what we would do in most cases would be just to update the wording so that it actually meets what is in existence. Is that correct? Or did I miss?
No, so with the adoption of this comp plan, there are recommendations that would have a trickle-down effect, if you will, into the zoning ordinance. It might affect height, for example. There's some instances where we're recommending lowering height, some instances where we'd want to increase height. There's some minor adjustments on density. So we'll be looking at each of those zoning districts to do that. One of the other things that we've discussed is we've got several very low-density zoning districts. We have R1, R1A, and R1B. No developer develops to R1B anymore. So we may want to simplify and just have R1A. So there's that kind of cleanup that we will be evaluating, as well as specific development standards. And then, you know, whether or not the Planning Commission is comfortable with us moving forward with looking at rezoning some of these ag properties that really should be R1A, for example. It would actually benefit those property owners, but there's a process that we'll go through that in terms of reaching out to them, holding a meeting, making sure that people understand what we're discussing. And it's not the end of the world if it doesn't happen, but it would help them ultimately. So there's just a lot of follow-up that we'll do, and we'll prioritize that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I think we got a motion and a second. Can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Wroblewski.
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Council President Seifert, sorry.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell.
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Okay, and next up is police.
Glasses on because I'm old.
You don't have any purple slides, do you?
So I'm here for resolution number 2025-096R, and it's authorizing contractor and license agreement with Flock Group Incorporated for installation and maintenance of license plate recognition cameras, $86,100 to be paid from the Madison Police budget. Before I go on, I've got some points of clarification here to ease some of the concerns that I've heard earlier, if you don't mind. So where we are now is these cameras are already in place in Huntsville and in Decatur. Now, what we do know is that criminal element from Decatur and a criminal element from Huntsville pass through Madison quite frequently. Madison has a big blind spot here because Huntsville can track the criminal element, Decatur can track the criminal element, but we can't. There's a kind of a black hole right in here in the middle when they come into Madison. So now we're able to plug that hole. Huntsville put in place several years ago, and are continuing to build what's known as NAMAC. I don't know if any of you have been there before. It's called the North Alabama Metro Area Crime Center. And they actually have stations there for Madison and other surrounding agencies if we had the personnel to actually put them up there so that we can fuse information in this metropolitan area for criminal acts that are going on. Now we're allowed to be able to plug into that with the Flock cameras that we're looking to purchase. We had an incident that happened last year, right after the fireworks up at Dublin Park, where we had a criminal element from Huntsville and a criminal element from Decatur that got into a dispute here in Madison that ended up in a homicide, our first homicide in about 2 years. all right? We may not have that dangerous criminal element here in Madison, but it travels through here quite frequently. And now we're able to plug in the information that we can get from Huntsville and Decatur to know who's coming in and out of our city. All right, that's one of the things that Flock will help us do. Because we don't do anything in a vacuum here, when I served with the command staff in the Virginia Beach Police Department, I was also an adjunct professor of criminal justice at 2 different colleges, and I taught constitutional law. I recently created a constitutional law course for all of our officers to deal with emerging technologies. That includes the Carpenter case that was mentioned earlier, which had to do with a investigative agency. I believe they were federal agencies that were tracking a guy through his cell phone and cell phone records so they could see which towers were being pinged off of so they could keep track of his movements. This has nothing whatsoever to do with that. I also wrote, because we already have LPR cameras here in Madison, I've had them for the last 3 years with the Axon dash cams that we have in all of our police cars, our marked police vehicles. Well, we haven't turned them on and we haven't used them because we didn't have a good policy in place. Now, I've written a policy that went into effect on August 1st, 2024, and some of the things that that policy states, and that will also be put in place once we get Flock up and running, is alerts generated by the mobile LPR, which now will be the stationary LPR with Flocks, will be displayed to the officer operating the LPR-equipped vehicle. An alert alone does not sufficiently establish probable cause for an arrest. This is in our policy. An alert alone does not necessarily establish reasonable suspicion to conduct a traffic stop. Officers only have to have reasonable suspicion to conduct a traffic stop, not probable cause. This is warning them that they don't have either just merely because they got an alert on the LPR system. Upon receipt of the alert, the officer should follow the protocol to confirm the accuracy of the hit using visual confirmation of the license plate that captures the license plate on what's known as a hot list. Now, a hot list is information of vehicles that have been involved in crimes or are currently being investigated that goes into this system. And that's what the system is looking for, the vehicles that are on this list. Stolen vehicles, vehicles that have been identified in Amber Alert cases, human trafficking cases. To give you a great example, right now in our Sallyport, over here in the police station, we have a vehicle that we seized from a bank robbery last week. A citizen gave us a very good description of that particular vehicle. We were able to input that information, and Decatur picked it up 20 minutes after the bank robbery, driving through Decatur. We were able to track that vehicle and eventually arrest the suspect that was linked to that vehicle from that particular bank robbery. So we're able to solve that bank robbery based on this type of technology. So what officers are supposed to do is they're supposed to confirm the hit through NCIC, also through the Alabama system itself. NCIC is the National Crime Information Center. And then they're supposed to act in accordance with other general orders we have, such as search and seizure, arrest, warrants, and constitutional requirements. When following up on the LPR alert on unoccupied vehicles, they are also supposed to confirm this information before taking any further action. The additions to the hot list. Authorized personnel may manually add license plate numbers to the hot list. Only license plate numbers for active Be on the Lookout bulletins may be added. All manual entries must include a case number, a reason for the inclusion, and an expiration date for when it comes off of that list. All right, and then we have other policies on here for data retention. Our current data retention, should we turn on our LPR cameras that we already have, is for 30 days. After 30 days, it goes off unless there's some type of evidentiary value where we need to keep it longer, but then we have to document the reason why we're keeping that information longer. We do not have a bunch of people sitting back behind computer screens in the police station tracking people's vehicle and tracking all of their information. I don't have that kind of staff. So what this particular system allows us to do is use current technology in order to act as a force multiplier for the officers that we do have to act more efficiently and more effectively. I have Captain Cook sitting back here. He's the project manager who can provide more information if you have any other questions. And we also have someone from Flock to explain how that works as well, should you have any other questions. But I wanted to state this information up front that, again, we don't operate in a vacuum. Our officers are getting constitutional training on this type of information, and we have a specific written policy that covers how we use this and what we do with that information.
Move to approve, because we never did the motion,
We
right?
haven't done a motion.
Right.
Second.
All
Yeah.
right, we have a motion and a second. Thank you, Chief, for the explanation.
Absolutely.
Is there any discussion?
I just want to say thank you. I think I brought this to you about a year ago. I had read about good success actually with finding a elderly woman with Alzheimer's, that the system found her states away from where she was. I look at this as another tool in the law enforcement toolbox of information you need. There's a reason Madison has very little crime, and it's tools like this. I don't think the average citizen needs to worry a bit. I don't think that my license plate is going to show up in your database. I think that this is, like I said, another tool to combat Amber Alerts, drug trafficking, human trafficking, Alzheimer's patients that you know, have wandered away. I mean, we see that all the time. And let me just say one other thing, and I went on Nextdoor to try and help put out the fire, and you never know if you're successful or not, but literally 3 posts after that, a woman posted that her Corvette had been stolen out of her garage, that she had left the keys in the ignition or on the floorboard. The Flock camera is a perfect example of, oh, you live at 100 Main Street, we'll check and we'll find your car. I think back to Mr. Dumas, Ronald Dumas, Ronald, I believe is his name. Would the Flock system have helped find his car that much faster? I am 100% supportive of this. Anything we can do to keep crime in Madison low is a benefit to our entire community, a benefit to our insurance rates, a benefit to our protection. So get off my soapbox on that, and somebody else can share their thoughts.
I think you did a wonderful job of explaining that. But I think there's still some people looking around here that have concerns. Is there anything else you can say to alleviate any concerns that anyone would have that this system in any way would be used improperly?
I just laid it out, and I think there's just some people that you can't convince them no matter what you say.
I mean, I'd be more concerned about my cell phone. Look, I mean, how do you log into your cell phone? The majority of everybody in here, they have to put their face on it.
I understand.
At least it's law enforcement that has it, not some advertiser. So that's just me.
Chief, could I ask you another question? You've laid out the process that you propose to use and the policies. What would be the auditing process that you would use to make sure that your officers are compliant?
That's a good question. We really don't have a process to be able to do that yet, other than the fact that we are going to regularly check these plates to make sure they still need to be in the system. And whoever enters it's going to be responsible for removing it. And we'll be able to pull that up on our, I believe, our Flex system. Toby, Flex would be able to track stuff like that? And Axon as well.
Thank you. Did you have something else?
Sure.
Ms. Denzine, just addressing your comment about the auditing procedures. So there is a state law that regulates use of this technology as well. It's been on the books by the state legislature for a couple of years now. What that does is that directs the Alabama State Law Enforcement Agency, ALEA. They have a specific division called the CJIS division. They audit all of the technology that's used by law enforcement, such as NCIC that the chief mentioned earlier. All of that has to go through the state. So they have a method in place where they're going to be auditing every agency that has this technology. We have to report it to the state that we have it, and they'll be auditing us as well. We also have the ability to do internal audits. So if there's ever a question that somebody may have used it improperly, we can do a self-internal audit as part of an internal affairs investigation and determine who may have done that as well.
Okay, thank you for the explanation.
I get Chief Catman, man, is that part as well? I know we're CALEA accredited or credited, I'm not sure what the right phrase is, but I mean, is that also part of that accreditation that says, hey, we have these policies, we have proof that shows we've done that?
Well, it does have some, what's called standards that we have to meet, but it's up to the department to meet those standards.
Sure.
The way that's customized for us, but that's not really so much of an audit feature. That, what I was talking about is that we're responsible for putting, any information we're responsible for putting in there, we're responsible for making sure that information is cleared out once we no longer need it. And to give you an example of that, we put information in on a stolen car. The stolen car gets recovered, but we don't bring that information out. And now the legitimate owner is driving it, and next thing they know, they're being pulled over and put face down in the street because they got stopped for driving a stolen vehicle. Well, that can come back on us because we didn't do our due diligence in taking that information out.
I got you. Okay. I will say too, just from, never been a police officer, but have lived with one from the standpoint of, from the officer's safety as well, understanding when they come up on the scene or they come up on a thing and they've got hits. The fact you're investigating that, understanding what you've got, it also, I think, helps officers come up in a more knowledgeable situation of what they're approaching so that they can also take their safety into account and make sure that, at the end of the day, they can actually go home. And go home in the right manner. And I also think from the citizen standpoint, I would be much, much more worried about, what Apple and Amazon and Facebook and everybody's listening to on my cell phone. Because probably when I go home tonight, when I go on Facebook, it'll ask me about, do I want to buy some Flock cameras? Or to talk about a flock of geese, I don't know.
But one thing this system does not do is it doesn't record people running red lights or speeding or anything else like that to automatically send them a ticket in the mail. This is simply a system that will alert us to specific vehicles that we're looking for.
I think the key is you're inputting into the system, this is a stolen car, this is the car of a woman who we can't find, this is a license number of a human trafficker that you followed through Texas all the way up 65. I think people need to realize we are part of a human trafficking corridor here this close to 65, and that's the key. You don't have my license plate because you haven't inputted it, but the private sector person doesn't need to be concerned about this. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Until you do something wrong, Maura.
Right, and I'm not doing anything wrong, nope.
All right. Any further discussion? I think we have a motion and a second. Can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Wroblewski.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
And next up is Councilman Powell's favorite person.
What are you gonna do when I'm gone? You're not somebody's favorite person.
He's gonna start smiling when he walks up here.
It'll be somebody else, don't worry about it.
I have Resolution 2025-097-R, authorizing a transportation agreement with the City of Madison Board of Education for bus service for certain city events. This is the bus service we use for Easter egg hunt, Independence Day celebration, and Christmas parade.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Got a motion from Councilman Powell, second from Councilman Shaw. Any discussion? All right, can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Powell.
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw.
Aye.
Council President Seifert.
Aye.
Councilmember Wroblewski.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you, sir. Any miscellaneous business and announcements? All right, I do have one. I will just ask, I know we're getting ready to adjourn. Give us time to put our stuff up. If you want to address anything with us, please allow us to get our stuff up so that we can come down and meet you and give you the time and attention that you deserve. So with that, unless...
Motion to adjourn.
All right, we are moved to adjourn, and we're adjourned. Thanks, y'all.
Oh, yeah, I'm back.